We're going to do a war recap of our last war against Expendables ISN, International Clan, level 8 clan. This was our last war as a level 7 clan. We ended up we're up to level 8 now. You notice that we captured the victory, 73 to 65. Pretty impressive victory. They had outweighed us significantly. We had a full Town Hall 9 and a Town Hall 8.5 BB-8 on their side. They had a 9 that leveled up to 10, and in doing so immediately dropped the additional 3rd Expo and dropped an Inferno Tower. So that made things a little bit challenging. They additionally had numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they had a total of a Town Hall 10 and 4 Town Hall 9s against us. Some of these guys weren't very upgraded Town Hall 9s, but on the surface it looks like, you know, you could split hairs and decide whether or not they outweighed us. You might decide that it was even, and I think all in all it was a pretty even matchup, because you're going to see that some of those 9s were able to be taken by our Town Hall 8s. They just had to be. We didn't have enough Town Hall 9 attacks to go against them. And you know, overall, it was a pretty even war. Both sides, I would say, had an even chance at victory. We grabbed the victory. It was pretty decisive right from the beginning. We came out to a huge lead within the first couple hours, and from there, they really changed their attacking style from 3-star type attacks to just trying to get the war stars. So it probably, had we not demoralized them, it could have been a lot closer war. They certainly had the potential, they certainly had the attacking strength, but we were able to put them down pretty quickly. We're going to look at a number of attacks from this war that really exemplify where the meta is at right now with war. We're going to start out with a classic. Alpaca Wizard is going to go against number 24 here, and this is going to be a balloon type attack. So first thing we notice is he has an off-centered clan castle. That makes the lure really easy. There is a baby dragon in the clan castle, and one thing about when you think or suspect that there might be a baby dragon, you have to bring a really lot of archers, because that baby dragon, once it self-rages, does an enormous amount of damage, attacks very quickly, and has a high number of hit points. So bring way more archers than you think that you need. So next thing he's going to do is he's going to send in a couple giants here to distract. They're going to tank for the hogs. The hogs are going to come in and they're going to take out that air defense, the most important thing on the field there. They're continuing to tank, and right now the only thing shooting that can shoot it as balloons is the archer towers. The archer towers are all being tanked by the hogs. He doesn't have any heal spells yet. He's still a Town Hall 5. So the hogs do go down, but they've done their most important job of distracting those defenses. He sends in pods of balloons directly on those air targeting defenses. They go down, and it's time for cleanup. Outstanding attack. He still has a lightning spell in the bag. I would have spent that at the beginning of the attack. You don't know that you're not going to need it until things do go well. So always spend, if that's all you have is that lightning spell, that's a great way to start the attack out. Drop that first and foremost. That way you don't have to worry about it later. The effect doesn't go away. It's not something that you have to target a moving target. So just decide what defense you're going to target with it, or cluster of defenses, and let it go. Great job, Alpaca Wizard. We're going to get back out here. We're going to go on up and start looking at what is the meta in the game right now. It's hogs. So we're going to start looking at our first hog attack of the day today. Regna, able to get a CC lure. Again, even though the clan castle is centered on this base, the design is not one that protects the CC. At Town Hall 7, you have plenty of buildings and walls that you can absolutely make a much more difficult CC lure. You should be at least making them spend a giant or a hog to get the CC lure. Again, it's all about trade-offs. How many housing space does it take for them to lure and kill your CC? And on the alternative side, you want to make sure that you're killing that CC for less than those housing space that you're getting. So uses a giant to tank for the initial entry and to test the lane, and then sends in the hogs on the top here. Now note that all of the defenses for the most part are on the top except for these two archer towers and mortar on the bottom, and currently they're targeting the hogs that are in the heel. So Regna brings in some hogs on the bottom here while those defenses are targeting the hogs that are under heel, sends in a second heel for where the hogs are currently at. The ones on the bottom, having taken very little damage, go ahead and follow in here. And then she brings her level 5 CC hogs in to go ahead and take care of those last couple defenses. Now, from a planning standpoint, that should have taken out all of the defenses. The Tesla popped up in a funny location. It's an excellently planned raid. The hogs did have to path outside of the base to get that last Tesla, but that's all right. That's not something that we're going to worry overly about because they had just come out of that heel. They were at full strength. So even taking that giant bomb and a little damage from the Tesla, they're still up and running. They're going to quickly take down that BK, and then they're going to go for cleanup. Great raid, Regna. We're going to move up the ladder here, and we're going to check out a new guy. This is Nathan, new to the clan. And this is not a base that you would normally think about hogging, because there are a very large number of locations where the giant bombs could potentially be. But you can still hog a base like this. Sometimes when you have suspicions about where known or suspected defenses might be, you bring in a golem and you bring in a kill squad. Another problem with this base is that it's not an easy CC lure. Even on the weak side of the CC lure here, there are a couple defenses out there in the outer ring that would distract hogs or giants that are outside the walls, so the hogs or giants would path directly towards them and not get the CC lure. So in this case, you may not be able to do a CC lure. Let's see what Nathan does here. He's going to forego the CC lure. Starts trimming a little bit so that he can get some funneling going on. Brings in a golem backed by a couple wizards. There's no splash damage going on, so he can very safely wall break in. He doesn't want that king beating on his golem forever, so he's going to back it up with his king, drops a rage spell, and the rage spell is mostly for the wizards at this point. It's going to speed up his king and the golem to get them out of the line of fire movement-wise, but it's also going to increase the damage that his wizards are doing so that they can very quickly take down that the clan castle defenses. So as we see, there are a large number of places where defenses could be, but the majority of the base's defenses are in the core here. So he's able to keep the hogs pretty much under heal the whole time. Because he used that rage, he's only got the 2 heal spells. But look how many hogs he has up at the end here. Nathan has done an outstanding job of hogging this base. This is not a base that most people would try to send hog riders against, but he has done an amazing job here. I'm going to speed it up, go ×4, finish up the cleanup here. Just to look at what you can do when you have that golem tanking for you, and sometimes how you're able to get an in-stride CC kill. Some things that normally you don't think about with hogs. We kind of preach that you should always do a separate CC lure and kill before you drop your hogs, but sometimes that's just not possible. Nathan shows us what you can do in those cases. Last attack, we're going to go up the ladder here, and we're going to take a look at Gemini. Like I said from the very beginning, we had to have a couple of Town Hall 8s go after some of these Town Hall 9 bases. You notice that this base does not have an Archer Queen, but he has already dropped Expos on it. Some of the new defenses aren't quite upgraded to max Town Hall 8 level yet. This guy's a relatively new Town Hall 9. Normally we would say that he made a mistake in dropping those Expos as quickly as he did, but their clan was still able to get matched up against ours, so there's a lot of changing thought going on in war weights right now and what constitutes productive war weight and how you should manage your war weight. But we see that this number 5, Orlando, he's their bottom Town Hall 9, even though he has dropped the Expos. And his base is relatively interesting here. We see that there aren't a lot of places for giant bombs to be in the core of the base, but there are definitely potential either giant bombs or Tesla up here up top, and there are potentially either Teslas or giant bombs in these 5 locations down at the bottom. Now, we know that a Town Hall 9 potentially has 4 giant bombs and also 4 Teslas, so that's 7 different locations. For those, there could potentially be double giant bombs or a Tesla and a giant bomb in some of these locations. So very dangerous ground for hogs to go through. How exactly do you deal with something like this? Fortunately, this base does have a lurable CC. So Gemini is going to start out by dropping a hog. He's trying to probe into some of those open spaces, but the hog doesn't pass close enough. It's not going to waste a lot of troops continuing with that idea. He did need to get the CC lure. He gets it. So the CC lure comes out. Always remember, where do we want to drop that poison spell? Right on the dragon's shadow. Drop the poison spell on the dragon's shadow. That ensures that the dragon is in the center of the poison. And then sprinkle your archers in a ring around it. Remember, you don't have to have a ton of archers, just enough to keep that dragon in the center of the poison. He drops a golem. How long do you need that golem? Well, you need that golem to stay in front of your troops until you get to the limit of where you need them to go. So sometimes you might need to have 2 golems. Sometimes you might need to back that golem up with a healer. Different ideas, but you need to ask yourself, how long am I going to need that golem, and so how many hit points do I need to provide to get there? Wall breaker in. Second set of wall breakers to get through the second wall. Rages the king. Drops hogs on both sides, and as the hogs progress towards the core, that's when he drops the heal spells. Now the hogs all progress into the heal spells, get healed up. They're joined by the Valkyries. So the Valkyries cleared the 2 bottom giant bombs, and now he drops a heal up on this bomb tower, which he would have done anyways, and those 2 adjacent areas where the giant bombs are under heal. Loses a couple hogs to spring traps, but besides the hogs he lost to spring traps, pretty much has all of his original hogs remaining. Lost very few, if at all, any hogs in the course of the raid. Still has Valkyries up, still has his king up doing cleanup, an unbroken golem up and running around. So again, the question was, how many golems do you need? Well, you don't need, if you still have an unbroken golem at the end of the raid, you definitely didn't need a second one. Never drop a second golem if you can do it with just one. And if you can find a way to get away from doing a golem, well, that's 6 additional hogs that you can attack, add to your attack. Or 7 wizards and archers accompanying. Those 30 troop spaces can do a lot. So always be very conscious of, do I really need that golem? And if the answer is yes, I need that golem, then how many do you need? And what are you trying to do with it? How far do you need to get? So a lot of people's initial reaction is always to drop 2 golems, do that shattered entry, easy funneling, drop the wall breakers in between, but then they run out of offensive power throughout the raid. So how many golems do you need for the raid? What are you trying to get accomplished? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. Gemini does an outstanding job of taking down that Town Hall 9, and that results in us winning this war. So on both sides, good job. We cleared everything but that Town Hall 10. A couple different people, some people got the Town Hall but not over 50%. A couple people got over 50% but couldn't get the Town Hall. We tried everything we could to at least 2-star that Town Hall 10, and it just didn't happen. So great job. We did clear everything from 2 on down. So 73-65 final score. Fantastic war, guys. Keep up the good work.